In today's complex business environment, leaders need not only to be prepared for the worst, but also to build their resilience. At The Human Factor, Corporate Integrity Matters' Sonja Stirnimann invites top executives, board members, and industry experts to reflect and talk about the realities of corporate integrity, risk, and ethical leadership. As an international governance authority, independent director, and entrepreneur, she understands the challenges leaders face. Integrity and ethical leadership are not just principles. They build resilience, enhance reputation, and create strategic competitive advantage for organizations and for individuals.
Welcome to the Human Factor Corporate Integrity Matters. I'm Sonja Stirnimann, your host and strategic sparring partner for navigating leadership pressure, risk, and resilience. And yes, this is our final solo episode of the year 2025. And today I do not want to offer a summary, but rather a strategic pause. To ask the question we often skip when the year ends. What did this year reveal for us? Where were we tested as a person, as a team, and as an organization? And most importantly, how did we respond to that? Because when we talk about integrity, resilience, ethics, it is not what you planned. It is what you actually showed up for under pressure and how you navigated during these times. How you acted as a role model in the very different roles you have in your life. And yes, we all have these, and how aware are we of the responsibility coming along with that? When we act and are seen, sometimes unconsciously, as role models. December is a busy month for leaders. Final meetings, board evaluations, year-end sign-offs, team recognitions, next year positioning. But what is often missing is closure. Not project closure, but a growth closure. What did we learn, not just about the business, but about ourselves? In one C-suite discussion I supported last year, a CFO asked, why do we finish so many tasks, but carry so little alignment into January? This was a very interesting topic to go deeper. And we had a wonderful conversation because the alignment we are not carrying over to the next year needed to be discussed. That is not an execution issue. That's a presence issue because we move fast, but we do not always reflect deeply. So let's make it more practical. Here are the 3 questions I asked the last few weeks my sparring clients. First is, where did we tolerate too much ambiguity and call it agility? Did we lose ethical clarity in the name of speed? Second one, which decisions would we make differently if we truly lived our values? Are there any? Not as a regret, but as a recalibration with what we have learned during the year. The third one, where did presence fall away? If so, when did the room need leadership, but got authority instead? What happened and why? How could I do that better next time? These are not just post-mortem questions. They are strategic diagnostics for our 2026. Because what we reflect on now determines what we tolerate next year. Because presence is what makes integrity visible. It is not loud. It's not linear. It is the moment when you hold the room. You hold the room for yourself, but also for your teams. Even when the numbers say proceed, but your guts say pause. This is leadership. Not in the loud, visible moments, but in the silent ones, where pressure whispers and your integrity responds. Here's the truth. Real leaders use December differently. They close loops, not just tasks. They review decisions, not just results. They strengthen reflection before performance planning. And if you are listening to this, you are not here for generic advice. You are here to ensure that your leadership is grounded before the next year builds on fragile foundations. So here's your invitation. Before you finalize your strategic plan, consciously schedule time. Time of unstructured reflection. Take as much as it needs. Not for metrics, but for meaning. Let's close the year with one powerful insight. Integrity is not something you reset in January. It is something you carry forward, sharpened by reflection. Thank you for joining me this year. I look forward to next year for reflection with courage, for leading with presence. And if you are preparing your team, your board, or self for sharper resilience next year, let's talk. I'm here, quietly, strategically, with clarity. So have a great closing of 2025. Until next time, stay rested, stay resolute, and stay human.